So 9.5 is volume of a sphere and pyramid, which are our last two shapes in this unit. So a sphere, remember, is just like a circle. It's round like a ball, like a basketball. And then a pyramid is when all your sides come to one point at the top, but the base could be a rectangle, could be a square, could be a triangle. So that's why we have these two different formulas. So for a sphere, your volume of a sphere is 4 over 3 pi r cubed. Now, one thing to add here is that volume of a hemisphere, which is half of a sphere, all we have to do is divide by 2. So volume of a hemisphere is this whole formula, and then all we do is divide it by 2 at the very end, okay? Volume of a pyramid now is 1/3 big B times h. So remember, your big B is your area of the base. So depending on what the area of the base is, depends on your volume. So here I see that this is a rectangular base with a length and a width, or your base times height. So I would use the area of a rectangle, which is length times width. So let's go over the different areas. So a rectangle would be length times width. A triangle, the area would be 1/2 base times height. And then a square would be your side squared, or side times side. So those are your 3 big B's that we're going to sub in. So let's try a couple examples together. It says that the sphere's radius measures 30 meters. What is the sphere's volume? So a radius starts at the center of the circle and goes all the way to the outside. So that is your 30 meters. Well, this is a sphere, so my volume is going to be 4 over 3 pi r cubed. So now what we have to do is we have to plug in our radius. So the only thing we're plugging in is r. So v equals 4 over 3 pi 30 cubed. So now we simplify. I'm going to do 30 cubed times 4 over 3 in my calculator, and I'm going to get 36000 times pi. Now, to figure out what this is, you're going to put in 36000, and then you're going to hit second, and then that little caret arrow under clear. So second, that little caret arrow under clear, and it's going to be your pi symbol. So when I do that, I'm going to get 113,097.3. And remember, volume is always cubed. Now, if you're wondering where that caret symbol is, it would be 36000. Then I hit second, and then right here in blue is pi. Then I would just hit enter, and there's my answer. So it said round to the nearest tenth, so that's why I stop at 0.3. Let's try another one. So in example 2, a sphere has a diameter of 11.9. So the diameter now is this whole straight line here. So that's all 11.9. What is the volume? Well, our formula doesn't use diameter, it uses radius. So in order to get the radius, we divide the diameter by 2. So 11.9 divided by 2 is 5.95 centimeters. So whenever it gives you diameter, you divide it by 2, and that's your radius. So now to figure out the volume, we do 4 over 3 pi r cubed So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do my 5.95 cubed times 4 over 3 first in my calculator. So it's going to be 4 divided by 3 in parentheses times 5.95 cubed. And I get that. So it's 280.85 9.59833 pi. So if it ever tells you to leave it in terms of pi, that would be your answer. But it says to the nearest tenth, so we have to multiply pi in our calculator. So if it says leave in terms of pi, this is where you stop. If it says round, then you keep going. So I'm going to multiply that by my pi. And I'm going to get 882 point, and now it says nearest tenth, so I look and the number next to the tenth is 4, which means 3 stays where it is. So it's 882.3 centimeters cubed. So right now I want you to try the next example, so pause the video and try that. So check your answer now, and then let's go on to example 4. So in example 4, it says a rectangular pyramid base measures 9 inches by 11 inches, and the height of the pyramid is 25 inches. So the base has 9 inches by 11 inches. So we have to look, and since it says a rectangular prism, that's why the bottom is a rectangle. Now, volume of a prism is 1/3 big B times H. Well, big B, remember, is area of the base. And I know because it says rectangular pyramid that the base is a rectangle. So instead of saying big B, I'm going to replace it with the formula for the area of a rectangle, which I know is length times width. So big B, remember, is area of your base. Well, the area is a rectangle, so we use our area of a rectangle formula. So now I'm going to plug in my numbers. So 1/3. My length is 9. My width is 11. You can always switch those because you're multiplying. And then it says the height of the prism is 25. So the height is from the top of the prism down to the center of the base. It makes a right angle. So this is 25. So I'm going to plug that in for H. So now in my calculator, I'm going to do 1/3 times 9 times 11 times 25. And I'm going to get 825 inches cubed. So that is my answer. Okay, let's try one more example. So it says a square pyramid has a base measure of 8 feet. So a square is equal on all sides. The slant height of the pyramid is 5 feet. What is the volume of the pyramid? So the slant height is not this line going up and down. The slant height is this line that goes from the top of the pyramid to an outer edge. Well, I know that this line, the height of the pyramid, makes a right angle. What I can do to figure out what the height of the pyramid is draw a right triangle. So, like I said in the last example, this height touches the center of your base. So what we do is we take half of our 8 feet, and that's how I get 4 feet. Well, to solve for a missing side in a right triangle, we use Pythagorean theorem. So I have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. My A and my B are the sides of my triangle. So we're talking about this side and this side. So it would be x squared plus 4 squared, and then my C is always my hypotenuse, or the slant height, which is 5 squared. So when I do this, x squared plus 16 equals 25. X squared equals 9. Take the square root and you get 3. That means my height is 3. So now I need to find the volume. Remember, volume for your pyramid is 1/3 big B times H. Well, here it tells me that it's a square pyramid, so I'm replacing my big B with the area of a square, which is S squared. So the one length in your square is 8 feet, and then I'm going to square it, and then my height I figured out is 3. So now I plug that into my calculator, and I'm going to get 64 feet squared. So just be aware, if they give you the slant height here, you have to use Pythagorean theorem to figure out what is the actual height. So right now I want you to try the rest of the example problems and the practice.